with Sammy's Tarot Astrology reading. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight on this beautiful Monday evening, November 16th. You might notice that this is a familiar background, and it is because I've just returned home from the most beautiful honeymoon with my wife. I can't believe I get to say that now. Yes. Got married on Wednesday, and then we spent a few days on the Rainbow River, and it was really beautiful. And out there in Dunedin, Florida, we could see a lot of the stars in the sky, just like these beautiful stars around us right now. So if you're ever in Florida, or if you're looking for a special place to connect with nature, I highly recommend checking out the Rainbow River and getting a little boat and going up and down. You can paddle one way and then drift back. So it's a beautiful balance. Speaking of balance, I'm going to get back to that idea when we talk about the stars in the sky. But before that, why don't we take a few deep breaths together and get centered and chant. And then we will talk about the stars, and then we will do a reading with this beautiful Modern Witch tarot deck. All right. Let's go. Let's do this. Ready? Start with 3 deep breaths. Good crack right there. Okay. So delicious. Thank you for sharing that moment together. Well, isn't this background amazing? I just wish I could see it all the time. Careful what you wish for. Maybe not all the time. But it's beautiful. So I wanted to talk a little bit, as I started to say about on our honeymoon, how on the Rainbow River you can paddle up using all of your muscle, and then you can drift back down on the current. And that reminded me of what I wanted to talk about tonight, because right now we have these 2 trines happening in the sky. And if you're watching this video later, it is Monday night around a little before 9 p.m. Eastern time, and right now the sun in Scorpio is in a trine with Neptune in Pisces, and that is about how we let our dreams and intuition guide us in doing what we're going to do and being who we are. And then right now there's another trine happening between the moon in Sagittarius, the fiery moon, and Mars in Aries, and that's a fire trine. So we have a water trine, which is about an intuition and who we are, and then we have this fiery trine that's about boldness and action and traveling far and shooting straight. And when I was looking at what was happening in the sky and I saw that, I felt like this great relief come over me, because earlier today I saw a post that was it was about creating from the feminine, and it's someone who is advocating and encouraging for people to learn how to be creative from the ideas of being tuned into pleasure and following our intuition, and and taking maybe smaller or more irregular actions, but actions that are connected to a really soulful place. And that sounded great, but then they were contrasting it to action from the masculine, quote unquote, which is very goal-oriented and driven, and big actions and lots of actions. And it made me feel sort of bad for a moment, because I have just been, especially with the new moon, I was really meditating on the things I want to create, and I was really tuned in with that part of myself, with the intensity and the passion and the drive and the goals and the things I want to do and how I want to do them hard and fast, and a lot of them. And I suddenly felt like, ooh, like, am I doing it wrong? Should I be trying to come from the feminine more? Am I gonna not be as successful, or am I gonna burn out or something if I come from that place? But then when I saw that the two trines in the sky are that water trine of intuition and then the fire trine of action, it reminded me, yes, both, all of it. They're both parts of us, and they're both beautiful, and one without the other is really just one side of the coin. And so I think it's beautiful that the stars and the way they're configured can help remind me, hopefully remind you of the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, yes, it's beautiful to come from a place of intuition and pleasure, but it's also okay to come from that place of fire and directness, and both future-oriented goals and present-oriented pleasure. And those two can, just like the two trines, they can intersect, which is what the trines look like. If you look at a picture of the sky right now, those two trines have this X marks the spot, and in the middle, that's where I want to be. So that felt really good to see. And tomorrow is Tuesday the 17th, and we're still going to have two trines, but as the moon progresses from Sagittarius into Capricorn, the moon will be making a trine with Uranus in Taurus. So we're going to have that sun in Scorpio, Neptune in Pisces trine as well on Tuesday, and then an Earth trine of Capricorn and Taurus with the moon in Uranus, and that's about individuality and being maybe different. And so maybe we'll have some deep feelings about the ways in which we're different, but those will help us be more in touch with who we are and help us to be more ourselves, which is really beautiful. And then the last thing is, as the sun moves further towards getting to the tail end of Scorpio season, the moon will be falling out of a trine by Wednesday with Neptune. It's been in that trine with Neptune for a while. So if you watch this on Monday night, the 16th, or Tuesday the 17th, these are really good days to really bask in your intuition and dreams, and then we'll have something new to focus on as the sun moves forward. So tune in for that later this week, and I know I've said this before, but I'm going to try to do this in the mornings from now on, so that if you watch it, you're going to get to hear about the upcoming day as opposed to the next day. I think that might be fun. So why don't we turn to the tarot deck? Okay. Shuffle time, everybody likes shuffle time. If you rhyme with shuffle time, the cards will be even more divine. Let's see. Do you want to see the shuffling? I'll move back. You can see the shuffling. There we have it. Okay. Okay, ready? Let's see. Our first card is Strength. And here you have a beautiful woman with a lion, and she is very gently soothing it. She has her hand upon its head and both of her hands, and it is sitting calmly by her side as she's standing there easily with a little soft smile on her face. They're both looking in the same direction. And there's the sign of infinity above her head. So it's a sign of strength and courage and also of gentleness. And it's sort of the perfect example of what we were talking about with those two trines, the fiery one and the watery one. And because it's a place where love, like the water and the intuition, meets that fiery boldness, like the Mars in Aries and the moon in Sagittarius. So ultimate strength comes from the combination of gentleness and love along with great power, but power that's being focused and directed. Strength. So also, you have a lot of strength right now. If you're seeing this, this is a sign that you have plenty of power. Your next card, the Fool. Here you have a figure standing at the brink of an adventure, probably gonna fall, definitely gonna fall, maybe gonna hurt themselves, but they are moving forward and they are learning and they are open-hearted, and it's where everything begins, the first step into the unknown. So it's about having an open heart and trusting and moving forward. And one thing that this makes me think of in terms of the sky is that we just had the new moon yesterday, and the Fool is sort of like the new moon. It's like the beginning of something stepping out. And so, especially with having the moon now in Sagittarius, which is fiery and bold, and having the sun in Scorpio, which is emotionally very deep. It's like, yeah, you can take the deepness that you felt from the moon in Scorpio and from this whole past Scorpio season, and now let the fiery energy move you forward into something unknown. Our third card for tonight, the Knight of Wands. How beautiful. So it's just a continuation of what we were talking about. It's all about moving forward boldly and passionately. We have this beautiful, beautiful person here riding this horse, and the wand represents action and courage and fire, creativity. So what we see in this spread tonight is strength comes from harnessing power with gentleness and love, which is sort of like in meditation how we continue having thoughts and maybe fears or worries come up, but instead of saying, no, I won't have that thought, we just say, okay, I see that thought, now I'm gonna let it go, and can I turn towards love? And so here you have the Fool with an open heart, taking one step, and then you can see that that first step leads to a gallop. And here you have somebody next to the lion, which is sort of like, if you think of it as representing a part of ourselves, our braveness and our courage and our strength, the lion part of us that this person is beside. And then here, after taking a step into the unknown, they are riding with it. They are one with this horse. They are connected to that nature, and it is carrying them fast forward into the future and towards exactly what it is that they're focused on. So I hope that you can feel the excitement and the electricity and the creative, inspiring inspiring urge forward of this moon in Sagittarius, and let it inspire you and bring you forward. And there you have it. That is our reading for tonight. And we are almost in Sagittarius season, so the fact that we have, oh, how pretty. I'll show you this card next time. The fact that we have the moon in Sagittarius and the sun is about to be going into Sagittarius. And when does Sagittarius season start? It's less than a week from now, so we're about to be looking forward to a beautiful month of excitement and forward motion, creativity, passion, exploration, directness, travel, whether it's physical or imaginative. All of that's coming up around the bend, so that's fun to look forward to. And before we close with the meditation, I just want to say that I'm dedicating this final part of the meditation tonight to my granny, to Edie, who passed away a few years ago and whose birthday is today. So Granny, I love you, and thank you for all of the love that you gave me and that I continue to feel. And you are remembered, and I love you and appreciate you. Okay, let's take a few deep breaths together. And if there's anyone in your life who you miss or who has passed on, this is for them as well. Okay. May you be blessed, healthy, happy, and calm from dusk to dusk and dawn to dawn, in the past, in the present, and on and on and on and on and on. Until tomorrow, thank you and have a beautiful night.